All right, had to go ahead and let that intro finish playing. Hey, good morning and congratulations for taking the first step to solving your slow money blues. My name is Doug, retired U.S. Marine and two-time combat veteran turned entrepreneur at your service. Today's episode is Rosy Rose. Super excited to be bringing you the episode. Listen, I want to give a big shout out to all of my fans over in France. You guys are just holding me down. I love you guys. Of course, to all my fans over here in the U.S. as well, you all are really holding us down, and we are going to continue to bring you great content that helps you build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system. If you have any questions, the only thing you have to do is post that on our social media, IG, Facebook, or Twitter using hashtag Slow Money Blues, and we will get back to you. I promise you that. Just ask your question, whatever it may be. Our points that we're going to be talking about today, 3 things to help you stay rosy. That's what we're going to be talking about. 3 things to help you stay rosy, just like Rosy Rose. Now, of course, I have these 3 questions that I always ask, so you don't have to do the homework. But I promise you, if you don't do the homework, I don't want you to get left behind. I don't want you to feel like you're left behind, but you might be left behind because you're not putting in the effort. And if you want to really build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system, you absolutely have to do homework. It doesn't have to be the homework that, I may, suggest, but hopefully you're doing some homework that you're working on your own freedom success system, right? So you're going to always be doing homework. Just understand that doing homework is like a lifestyle, is what it boils down to, which people call them projects. Some projects turn into films, movies, books. You just never know, right? So whatever it may be, just basically keep at it. You're going to always be doing homework. I guess because the home and the work, and you're doing it at home, and then you're working at home, maybe that kind of throws people off. But hey, while we were in this pandemic, a lot of people were working from home. They just weren't working for their own freedom. They were working for someone else's freedom and dream. So last week's homework was tell 3 friends about one of your quirks, because remember we were talking about quirky Quentin, and Quentin was on the autism spectrum. And remember, he had an awesome memory. He was really smart. And so we were like, hey, look, his parents said he's not really, quirky or anything like that. He's unconventional. Now, you know what time it is. This is almost one of the best parts of the podcast. Did you say your morning mantra? If you did it, this is your opportunity to do it right now. Stop whatever you're doing. And you want to say this right now. Take out your smartphone, go and stand in front of the mirror if you can do that. Because although I'm you're seeing me live here, I can see myself in that lower left-hand corner over there, and I can see all the movements and stuff like that I'm making as well too. So let's say it together. Say, I state your full name, take 100% responsibility and accountability for my actions and decisions. I refuse to blame others. If I do, I give away all of my power, authority, and power given to me by God. I promise you, if you say that each and every day, oh man, the change that you've been longing for, wanting, and need will begin to occur. It'll inspire you so much that guess what you'll do? You'll write your epic ending. I promise you, you'll do it. Now, did you listen to Monday's sneak peek preview? I hope you did. And if you did, that's why you're tuning in now. And so you actually get the whole broadcast where we actually unhack and unpack this episode just for you. But of course, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsors. If you guys have been watching for any amount of time, I'm telling you, Linky and BigNet Domain, they are doing the thing. If you are a solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur, dadpreneur, or side hustler, you want to go grab your free 7-day free trial offer account at linky.com. That's linky.com. Go and do it today. If you want to see an example of what an account looks like and what it can do, just go to linky.com. That's linky.com/slow money blues. And you'll see, hey, what we did. And maybe that'll inspire you on, what you want your linky to look like. So no credit card, 7-day free trial offer. I would try it. And then when you're out there and you're networking and stuff like that, and you're going to great events, the only thing you have to do is just share that one link. And you know what their motto is? One link, endless possibilities. I mean, you can do so much with this. It's bananas. It's nuts. Okay. So I would highly recommend that you get that right now today. Also, if you are having a digital dilemma, because so many people are, I talk to people all the time, and they just have, the digital world is a beautiful place, which is why I'm a digital entrepreneur. But it's a beautiful place. But if you are struggling and you haven't cracked the digital dilemma code, what I want you to do is go over to bignetdomain.com, and before you check out, use promo code BIGNET, and you'll get a 10% savings upon checkout. So whether you need to get a domain name like a .com, .us, .net, .tv, .us, .io, .app, whatever you can think of, go to BigNet Domain. If you purchase a domain today, you'll get free hosting for 1 year, which is pretty phenomenal, because although they do provide hosting services, just because you purchase a domain name, you'll actually get free hosting for 1 year. So if you need email marketing, e-commerce, if you need to set up somewhere you have to schedule things with people, you can do that as well. If you need to actually host your own, content, they have VPSs, they have a dedicated service. If you need to secure your site, they have certificates to secure your site as well. If you need SEO, they do a search engine optimization as well too. They have everything that you need to crack this thing called the digital dilemma. Okay, so I want you to go there right now today. Here's the question for the day. Are you a rosy person? Now, I love flowers. Like, flowers are really, really awesome. That's not what we're really here to talk about. But just like, are you a rosy person? And when you kind of think of rosy, it kind of makes me think of like roses. And I'm like, roses are beautiful no matter what their color are, or no matter what the season is. Roses are just like, basically, they're just like a timeless flower for almost all occasions, but super awesome for special occasions. Listen to this. You are a masterpiece. There is no person in the world like you. Ever has been, ever will be. You are smart. You are brilliant. You are funny and witty too. You will do great things. You will change the world. Now, these are the only things that Rose heard from her parents growing up. Let's get personal. Fast forward 15 years later, and Rosy is now 25 years old, a New York Times bestselling author, renowned speaker, and sits on 5 Fortune 500 company boards. That's phenomenal. Seems like Rosy took her parents' word to heart. Isn't that amazing? I don't know what type of words you heard when you were growing up, but the reason that Rose is so rosy is because she had all of these positive affirmations and confirmations planted in her from before she was even born. And so it's no wonder that she's actually doing all of those things that her parents deliberately and intentionally spoke over her. And it's amazing. So these are 3 things that I'm going to share with you on how you can stay rosy, and maybe do some of the things Rosy does, or maybe do some of the things that you've been longing to do. First of all, this is what you want to do. I believe that there are 4 types of people on earth, and these type of people do 4 things for you and to you. There are these positive people, right? There are these negative people. There are these divisive people. And then there are these people that just suck the life out of you. So if you had to look at it from a mathematical equation, there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You want to hang around the people that multiply and add to your life, and you, of course, reciprocate that. You want to stay away from those people that subtract and divide you, right? That cause chaos and division, right? That every time you're around them, they're just super, super negative. You want to hang around all of those people that are super, super positive, and those people, I promise you, exist. And guess what? If I were you, I'd actually be the person that calls those people to become the positive and the multipliers, right? That's what I would do. So you want to connect with others that are rosy. It's amazing how they say there's a little adage, some people call it a parable, where it says that birds of a feather flock together. I certainly do believe that because it's like, game recognized game, right? And I love being around people that have high energy, that are super creative, and that realize that there is nothing that is stopping them from being uniquely themselves, right? So you want to connect with others that are rose. You say, well, hey, Doug, where do I find some of those people? I, you know, I just love people. So I love engaging in conversation with people. And many times when I engage with people, what I simply do now is I pick up my smartphone after we finish having our conversation and I say, would you like to stay in contact? And I hand them my phone. I open up a new contact and they simply put their information and I shoot them a quick text. So they actually not just only have my our linky to the show, instead of going linky.com/so many blues, I actually have their contact information right in my phone. And it's because people literally are drawn to inspiration. And if you've been listening to the podcast for any amount of time or watching podcasts, you know that my purpose is to help everybody discover their calling, passion, and purpose, do it with excellence, and live a legendary life. So I'm always that guy. Doug is always rosy, okay? So when you're around me, chance, or you're like, hey, I like this guy. It's something about him, okay? The next thing is this. Step number 2 to help you, kind of to help you stay rosy, is I would encourage you to do this. This is really, it's simple, it's amazing, but I don't know if a lot of people do it. You hear a lot about it, but not a lot of people do it. Mentor a person or group of people. See, when I was in the military, they said, listen, if you are not part of the solution, that means you're part of the problem. So if you want to be if you want to help change the direction of the entire world, just mentor some people or a group of people using your tag, your talent, ability, and gift. And I promise you, there are people out there that will listen to you and that want to listen to you because they're like, hey, look, you seem like you figured out some things that I'm still trying to figure out. And so because you've already figured it out, that means I don't have to figure it out because you've already figured out and worked it out. And maybe you can help me. And that's exactly what mentoring is about. And then also, I would highly encourage you, hopefully you have a mentor yourself. So it's like this beautiful chain, right? That, you just, you've been helped and you play it forward and then you help some other people to get to where they want to be in life. And it's really, really awesome. And you meet so many amazing people that way. Just, ask people, hey, look, I'll do this thing or whatever the case may be. Or, hey, look, if you ever need help with anything, just look me up. You can also connect with people on social media. There's a ton of ways to find places to mentor people. Look, there's the Boys and Girls Club. There's Big Sisters and Big Brothers. There's all types of things that you can get involved with. There's a lot of people that are incarcerated right now that hopefully at some point they're going to be released. And maybe you can help them make the transition a little bit easier. Okay, so I would highly encourage you to mentor a person or a group of people. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, too, this can happen also in church settings. There's so many ways to be able to mentor people. And in doing things, I promise you, you'll begin to develop an attitude of gratitude. And that's going to help you stay rosy. What's the third thing? Well, that's also a great question. Just simply repeat. If you do this again and again and again and again, man, your attitude each and every day that you wake up will be so different because you now will not be consumed with yourself, but you will be consumed with how you can help other people get to where they want to be in life. And I promise you, you'll be rosy just like Rose. So what are some of our takeaways, or what is the takeaway for today? Because I've said a lot in a short period of time. This is the takeaway, and don't ever, ever, ever forget this. Words are more powerful than 10 nuclear bombs. They're actually more powerful than any amount of bombs. If I told you that every war that was started with words, you probably wouldn't believe me. But it's true, which is why words are infinitely more powerful than any bomb ever created. So, what is your homework? I'm glad you asked. That's another awesome question. Now, I know this may be challenging, particularly if you're not a writer, but I would highly encourage you to go inside of yourself and think about yourself. Now, um, I did this years ago, the poem that I wrote. And many times when I'm challenging you and asking you all to do stuff that you should do to help you build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system, I have done it and continue to do it to this day. Now, if I told you that I'm only following what my mentor does, you probably be like, really? Like, yes, he's still doing the same things that he showed me many years ago. In fact, it's a decade now that when I first ran into Big Brother Meyer. I love me some Big Brother Meyer, and I still watch him from afar and watch what he does. I'm like, man, he's still doing the same thing that he was doing when he met me. And he's super successful. He's still building and launching and growing his own personal freedom success system. And big shout out to Big Brother Meyer. So what's the homework? I want you to write a poem about your future self. Notice I did not say about your present self. I want you to write a poem about your future self, right? Sometimes people get hung up when writing a poem that it has the rhyme. And I will share with you, just full transparency. When I was younger, I hated writing. I even thought I wasn't a good writer. But I heard someone say this. Thank you, Big Brother Myron. He says, if you're willing to stay bad at something long enough, you might just become good. And I can tell you now, as far as being on a creative spectrum, it's like it's infinite and it's limitless. It's just me determining whether or not I want to pursue that or not from a written perspective. So I want you to write a poem about your future self. So what did we talk about today? Well, we talked about how the 3 things you can do to stay rosy. And the first thing is I want you to connect with others that are rosy. These are people that are positive, right? And these are people that are multipliers, right? People that create synergy and give you energy and you are willing to reciprocate. Next, mentor a person or group of people. Remember, it's not always about you, but it's about the other people that you can actually help them achieve their goals in their lives. And then lastly, I just simply want you to repeat that again and again and again. And I promise you, just like I said previously, your life will radically and forever change. So as always, tell anyone that is suffering from slow money blues to tune in each Tuesday from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to follow, like, and share Slow Money Blues on all social media and join our private Facebook group to get access to some amazing resources. Until next time, continue to build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system. And I will not see you at the top, but I will see you over the top. Now, listen, if you've hung out with me for a while, this is what I want you to do. Give yourself a big old cheer. And then I also want you to give yourself a round of applause. And then lastly, go ahead and blow that victory horn. Do it again. And I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.